Tell me. Do you You will.
Comics Plus, what is going on? It's your boy Akasan, and oh my god, Batman's gonna say the F word, motherfucker! Ah!
You're living in a fucking dream world.
Yes, Zack Snyder is in the news once again, ladies and gentlemen, because, oh boy. Ugh. This comes from Entertainment Weekly here. Let's go ahead and move on over to the good old stream here. All right, so this is coming over here from Entertainment Weekly, and it says Zack Snyder's Justice League might get R-rated theatrical release. Snyder says his 4-hour superhero epic may get a theatrical release, complete with an F-bomb dropping Batman. Plus, the director weighs in on the Warner Brothers 2020 slate controversy. Now, one thing I do want to say is that is one thing I have been kind of wanting to hear is his thought process on the Warner Brothers situation, because everybody else is like losing their goddamn minds. But I do think it's really important to hear because, you know, since its inception, no pun intended, HBO Max has really been all about that Snyder Cut, and it's because of HBO Max that the Snyder Cut is getting the light of day. So I am very curious to see, while Christopher Nolan is up here tearing shit apart, worst streaming service ever. And you know, the creator of the director, I believe the director of Dune, went hardcore on this situation. It is curious to see what Zack has to say. Let's see what he's got to say. Zack Snyder is looking to bring his highly anticipated director's cut of Justice League to the big screen. His new footage would likely tip the 4-hour opus into an R rating. Because of the length or because of something else? Here's one piece of information nobody knows. The movie is in... Should I try to do like Zack Snyder? Here's one piece of information nobody knows. That sounds more like a Snyder Trump. The movie is insane and so epic. It's probably rated R. That's one thing I think will happen. And that is, it would be an R-rated version. For sure, bro. Snyder tells EW. We haven't heard from the MPAA, but that's my gut. As for details about what makes the new footage explicit, Snyder reveals, there's probably one scene where Batman drops an F-bomb. Cyborg is not too happy with what's going on with his life before he meets the Justice League, and he tends to speak his mind. And Steppenwolf is pretty much just hacking people in half. So the rating would be due to violence and profanity. Probably both. Okay, see? That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Originally, now that's why you got to be careful about these headlines, guys, because my thought was the headline made it seem like, okay, because Batman drops an F-bomb, Justice League is R-rated. Now, whether or not Justice League needs to be R-rated is that's a whole nother thing. I mean, is short answer, no. It doesn't need to be R-rated. It shouldn't be R-rated. But again, this is Zack Snyder we're talking about, and at the end of the day, we got Justice League 2 years ago, okay? Theatrical, that one will forever be submitted as canon. That's what's out there, whether you like it or not, that's a done deal. This is just all extra in my mind. This is all, like every Zack Snyder movie, there's some sort of director's cut that comes out that's a little edgier, a little more R-rated, so it is what it is, you know? Yeah, let's just keep going. what are we talking about? Okay. But anyways, the main point I was saying about that title is, okay, that makes sense. Look, if Steppenwolf is up here hacking people in half and shit, you know, you're throwing boxes on people's, crates on people's heads and they're bleeding out, yeah, that would make sense. Perhaps an even bolder move than a cussing Dark Knight is Snyder's pushing for Warner Brothers to release his recut and supersized HBO Max film on the big screen in 2021. At a time when parent company Warner Media is trying to boost its nascent streaming service with as much exclusive content as possible. To be clear, a decision on whether to release the film theatrically has not been made, and Warner Brothers has no comment for this story. But Snyder has previously stated that adding a big screen rollout along with HBO Max release is his preference, and now the director suggests steps are being taken in that direction. I'm a huge fan and big supporter of the cinematic experience, and we're already talking about Justice League playing theatrically at the same time it's coming to HBO Max, Snyder says. So weirdly, it's the reverse of the trend. I'm gonna blah 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 blah. Okay. Alright, so here's what he has to say about this. I feel like it's a pretty bold move and that maybe the implication wasn't 100% thought out. Okay. Fair enough, Snyder. Fair enough. I feel like there's a lot of people panicking during COVID. I hope that in the end that's what this was. Some sort of knee-jerk to COVID and not some sort of greater move to disrupt the theatrical experience. I thought we were kind of already getting very close to the ideal theatrical window where you still had marketing material out there and you hadn't forgotten about the film by the time it came out on DVD or streaming. I thought we were starting to hone in on that sweet spot, but this kind of throws a monkey wrench into the works. You know what? I could respect that. I could respect that. I could respect that. Like, you know, say what you will about Zack Snyder and his storytelling or whatever. What's DVD? Say what you will about that, but I can definitely respect. I've always respected him as a director in his respect for the arts, I say. I love hearing him talk about IMAX. And similar to Nolan, but just not on that psycho level that Nolan is with the film, preservation of film. I do love hearing Zack Snyder talk about movies and directing and things like that. I may not be a fan of all of his directions in terms of storytelling, but one thing is for sure, he knows what he's talking about in terms of the integrity of film and theatrical and just movies in general. So I respect that. Okay, so then they just go into that. All right, so yeah, they just go into all this other stuff, the Snyder Cut. So I feel better. I feel better hearing about that because at first I felt like I was like, okay, Snyder just is coming off sounding like a dude bro or something like that. Yeah, we're just gonna have Batman say fuck for the hell of it. In short, it's not that big of a deal. If this was the actual canon movie and this was going to set the direction of where DC films are going and will be going or whatever, then I'd be a little more concerned. But like I'm saying, this is all just extras. This is all shit that's gonna be on HBO Max, and it is what it is. That's it. That's basically it. And you know, DC, Warner Brothers has the films that are coming out in the future: Wonder Woman, Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, the Batman. They got their idea of where they're headed, and with HBO Max, we can see at what point where it was going. But you know, the past is the past. It's kind of cool to look through the looking glass, but that's about it for the most part. And I'm fine with that being on HBO Max, and it is what it is. It may not be for me, but it'll be an interesting just kind of a curious look to see what it's all about. But, you know, that's about it. Red Dreaded Nation, stand up, speak up. Let me know what you guys think about this. It's definitely not as big as we thought it was going to be, right? Based on the headline. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you on the next Crisis on Infinite DC Earths.